Oh, it's recording. Hey everyone, my name's Hattie. I'm an independent consultant and executive area manager with Arbonne. Huge well done to all of you who are on this call showing up. It's week 4 of boot camp, and I can see that quite a lot of people have dropped off. I know it's a really sunny day, so huge well done to you if you are on live and watching the recording as well. So this week's bootcamp topic is yes, no, and the next step, which is essentially skill 4 in GoPro by Eric Worre, the book that you should have all read. And it's one of the most important skills that you really can master in order to become a professional network marketer. So I definitely say it's probably one of the most difficult skills to master too. And it definitely takes a lot of practice as well. So what I'm going to do first is just open up the call for 5-10 minutes, because I know that's what we all do. Last week, Lena trained us on sharing Arbonne, and she set a task to everyone to basically create your own 3 to 5 minute video. I know some of us already have one, but they're so good to be able to send out to prospects, you know, especially if you're on social media, to have your own, have that familiar face. So just to really hear from anyone who's done that or not done that, and struggling with it or something, any fears surrounding it. And then I'll just crack on with the training, but I'll just open up. So if anyone wants to speak, just obviously unmute yourself or feel free to drop it in the chat and I can chat about that as well. So yeah, it's definitely recording. Good. So yeah, anyone who wants to speak, just go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hi, it's me. It's Ellie.
Hey, Ellie.
So I did the video, and it was about 4 minutes. It was okay. I'm quite happy with it. What I've been doing is, so with my emails that go out, I did the standard kind of 20-minute chat, or alternatively, if you prefer video. So I've been sending that video out, and I've been getting more interest in terms of getting it out. But is it quite normal for people to want to see a video more than want to chat? I don't know if I'm...
I know Donna always says not to say this, but it kind of is a millennial thing, like in my opinion. I feel like younger people are scared to jump on a call sometimes. I don't know why that is. And then other times, you know, because I obviously mostly chat to millennials, sometimes they say, "God, yeah, like it sounds amazing," and they just send me their number. So it's just about, I think it's just about gauging the individual.
Yeah.
But obviously, yeah, I mean, a one-to-one is always preferred and definitely better. But it's sending a video. What I do is I offer a preference. I say, you know, it's great that you want to find out more, and it's definitely best to have a 20-minute phone call so I can tell you a bit more about it. Or I usually say something like, or if you're really busy, I'm more than happy to send over a short video which explains it. And then I would say probably about 60% of people come back and say, yeah, could you send a video? I'm really busy, or something like that. But so usually it's a cover up for they don't want to jump on a call. And I know Sam's just jumped on. I know Sam finds that as well. And she, yeah.
Just worried because obviously I get a lot of no's. I haven't really had anyone say yes yet. So you think, oh no, should I not be doing it? But then I'm like you've done. I give that offer and encourage the call first, then kind of drop in at the last minute about the video if it's busy. But just wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing, really.
Yeah. So what are people saying no to?
So they'll watch the video and they'll just say it's not for me. There was one that responded with, "Oh, I was expecting your message. It doesn't fit with my ethics." So I did go back with kind of, would you be able to just explain a little bit more? But then there's nothing. It's then all of a sudden the conversation stops. So I'm not really getting further than...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously a one-to-one, that's why a one-to-one is preferable, because still with a video, such a short video, people still can have quite a big misconception about what it all is, and they've made up in their minds what it is. And yeah, I mean, sometimes people come back and say, oh, you know, oh, it's Arbonne. Yeah, I've heard of that. So it's not your own business. So yeah, it's just people just don't understand it. But you've done the right thing in terms of digging for their answer. And yeah, trying to strip back the layers and find out what their objection is. Just sometimes people just will, quite often I say to people, oh, you know, why do you feel like that? What's your reason behind that? I totally understand this isn't for everyone, but could you just tell me a bit about why you don't think it's for you? And then you don't hear back. So it's just a difficult one. I think just make sure that you're staying connected with them, and then just they're seeing your exposures, just post. Yeah, I mean, obviously if they're not following you, then it's difficult, but just engage with their profile and maybe they will follow you, and then yeah, I mean, they will start to see what it is, I'd say. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's okay. No, that's okay. I hope that answered it.
Thank you.
Right. Anyone else? Has anyone maybe not done the video because of any kind of reason? Maybe a fear or Nora, you're smiling.
No.
Oh yeah, I haven't done. Oh, sorry, Nora.
No, that's fine. Yeah, I haven't. I'm really sorry I haven't had the time. I just feel really embarrassed because it's a terrible excuse, but I'm packing up my mum's house and doing lots of things, and I really want to do one though because I think they're brilliant and I'm really impressed by everybody else's. So it's heading this way, but both of my consultants have been practicing theirs and recorded it, but they're not happy with what they've done yet. So that's Evelina and Wojciech. So yes, terrible sponsor. I will do mine.
No, that's it. You are really busy, and I think for a lot of people they will say, I just haven't had the time. But yeah,
well, everyone's busy, you know. That's an excuse, but
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that long. I know I've been trying to record a new one that's kind of a lot shorter and sweeter, and just a more recent one. And it took a few tries, but I think for anyone who says, you know, I'm not happy with it keeps going, like I mess up and then I have to start again. You don't, because when I recorded mine, what I used, the first one I didn't. I just kept recording it until I knew the second time. You can just get the app InShot, and then you can just clip a few bits out of it. So if you stumbled on your words, take a pause. I put my hand up. Take a pause, put your hand up, and then when you're going through, you can edit that, crop that bit out, and then it's just like you're just starting again. That paragraph or that sentence. It's called InShot.
Getting it now. Thank you.
InShot, and it's just for editing videos, but you can just what do they call it? You can split the video and then kind of crop the split out. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people give it 7 minutes and you record it, like 20 times. It's going to take you forever. But yeah, I mean, I definitely have notes for it. Definitely, yeah. Write out some notes of what you want to say, because it's fine if it looks like you're, reading from notes. It's absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Sam, you were gonna say something.
Well, I mean, I feel more ashamed because I'm on my school holidays, and for me to say I haven't done it because I haven't had time, it feels awful. So don't you feel bad, Laura, because I've been on school holidays. Yeah, I think actually you talking about the app InShot was quite helpful, because I'm terrible for saying and I just don't want to do that. Am I under the impression that we're kind of given a mini DA when we do it? We're into yeah, okay, so I just stumbled down. So okay.
I know Molly has called hers taster video. So it's basically people are getting a taster of what Arbonne is, and then you're kind of, I mean, you obviously, you wouldn't send someone that video and then say, right, it's time for a follow-up if they're interested. You would share the full Arbonne opportunity with them. But yeah, it's just a taster it's just kind of to get them in your funnel, I guess, to have that first exposure. Yeah,
I'll do it tomorrow, definitely.
Okay, look forward to seeing it. Anyone else want to share anything?
Hey Hattie, it's Leanne.
Hello.
Hello. I think it's great to have a taster video. I have had one, but need to do a new one. Story of all our lives at the moment because of compliance. But anyway, yes. So it's great to have one for those occasions where people, if you say, oh, the best way to share it is to jump on a call with me and then run a mile in the other direction, like Ellie was just saying, but at least if you've got that, oh, the best way to find out more is to jump on a call with me, or alternatively, I could send you a 5-minute video, and then you've just got higher percentage rate of people being interested after watching that little curiosity video. And I agree with what you said as well, Hattie. I think it's about stripping back the layers. I think all too often, if someone comes back and they've watched a video and they kind of go, oh, thank you, but I don't feel it's for me, people just say, oh, thank you so much for your time and thank you for watching it, and they don't delve any deeper. But delve deeper, because they will have made assumptions based on the 5 minutes of what they've watched. So if you say to them, I'm curious to find out what it was that you didn't like, they might kind of say, well, actually, I really like my job at the moment and I wouldn't have time to do this, or I really like my job at the moment, I don't want to do this instead. But then you found out what the objection is, haven't you? But if you don't ask in the first place, you'll never know what it is. So you just got to kind of strip back those layers for them to kind of go, oh, right, I can do it alongside what I'm currently doing. Oh, okay, right, that's different. And then you can kind of progress that conversation. So yeah, it's good to strip that.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. So often I get, I'm just too busy. So obviously it's just a time objection. So you can go back, and then you can also say, you can put them on your tracking list so that you go back to them in a couple of months and say, look, has anything changed for you? Change in your situation. So yeah. It's just a taster. And I think mine, the one that I've got at the moment that I send out is maybe 7 or 8 minutes. And I feel like maybe that is too long, because how do we know that people have actually watched the video? Sometimes they just say, oh, thank you so much. But yeah, because then I don't know, people maybe they haven't heard what it is yet. So just, oh, I can't be bothered to watch that. No, it's not for me. So definitely my tip would be to create a short one, something short and sweet as well. Does anyone else want to share anything at all?
I'll share.
Go for it.
No, it's just relaying what Leanne said. I'm actually really guilty of that, not going back to ask people for follow-ups. I kind of just end the conversation and then move on. And I think that just comes from me being scared to approach that person again. So but definitely I think more than 1 or 2 or 3 exposures, you're going to get into those layers with people, like you said. So
yeah, because how many people on this call can say that they jumped in on the first exposure? I definitely didn't. It was over a year of exposures from Leanne for me to jump in. So just remember that as well. You're going to have to expose that person many times before they likely join or even just give you a decision. So yeah, thanks, Kezia. Okay, I'm going to crack on with the training, if that's okay. Yeah, oh God, it's like 20 past already. Okay, so yes, no, and the next step. So we always hear this time and time again, because it's true. The fortune is in the follow-up. It's very, very, very rare. Like we were literally just saying, that people will jump in on the first exposure. Maybe 2% of people join when you first share Arbonne with them. I think it's literally, I can just remember once it happening to me. I think that was with Julia and Molly's team. She just wanted to sign up straight away, but that really rarely happens, and I've been doing Arbonne almost 18 months. So just know that as well. So often when I was first doing my one-to-ones, when I first, last year when I was first doing them, when it came to the end of the call, I would just hope that they would say, yeah, I'll do it, and then ask to join. Can I join your business? It just never happens. Well, yeah, like I said, maybe 2% of the time. You are there to be a professional network marketer and guide them to make a decision. I also rarely even booked in follow-up calls, because I thought that I'd kind of gauged from the call, I don't know how, gauged from the one-to-one that they didn't want to do Arbonne. Or I thought, you know, it's pestery if I'm asking them lots of questions and trying to get them to jump on a call with me again. But that's absolutely not the case. And actually, if you think about it, if you don't book in that next exposure, you're going to feel more awkward about going back to them and more pesty about trying to get them on another call. So learn from that. Always book in the next exposure. The other thing is not to get attached to the outcome. Arbonne is not for everyone. Your job is only to share and educate people about this business, to help them see what this is and whether it could be a fit for them. So network marketing professionals are detached from the outcome. They're never here to get anybody as well. We also never want to be in convincing mode when we're on a follow-up or any calls. Arbonne is absolutely amazing as it is. It's an amazing gift. And if you show people how this could transform their life, you're likely going to have a really strong, driven business builder join your team. If you convince people, you're just going to have a body in your team. They're likely not going to do anything. This is an effort-based business. So you want to sponsor people who actually want to do this as well. I'm just going to mute that person. Sorry, I can't find it. Oh, all good. So yeah, literally your intention is whose life can I change? Who can I help? How can I help this person on that follow-up? Always make it clear after the presentation as well. So when you first shared Arbonne with that person, always make it clear and have that clarity that that individual knows everything they need to know in order to make a decision. Have that clarity at the end of the one-to-one and the beginning of the follow-up as well. Explain that this is a learn as you earn business, and the concept is so simple, because we could talk about it forever, but at the end of the day, we're switching out our products and showing other people how to do exactly the same. Network marketing is a really unique business model where you will learn from doing. Unlike a degree, you have to study for 3 years and then you can sit all your exams and hand in your dissertation. So never go into the ins and outs of every detail of the business, because their head is just going to explode anyway, and then they're not going to want to join. So keep it really short and sweet and remind them that they know all they need to know in order to get started. So another reason why we do follow-ups, it's doing what you said you were going to do. It shows that you've booked in a time and you are there showing up on time as well. You're treating your business seriously, and people are going to really respect that as well. So like I said, last week's topic was on sharing Arbonne. I just want to take you back to when you're doing this. So say you've just finished a one-to-one. At the end of the call, your job is to gauge where that person's head's at. So for example, you're asking questions like, what resonated with you? What did you love best about what you've heard? Then you need to set up the next exposure, which is the follow-up, by using language like, so what works now is, or what happens now is this. Just going onto paper notes because I ran out of time to write it all out. So you'll also have sent them some follow-up links as well from the last call. So you've set up the next exposure and you've given them some follow-up links to watch. You've told them how long they are, and you've said, to watch these before we jump on the follow-up. The first thing you'll want to do on the day of the follow-up as well, a lot of people forget to do this, is to firm up that follow-up. And ask whether they've watched the links prior to that as well, because if you're jumping on the call on the follow-up and they haven't watched the links, then that's going to be a little bit more difficult as well. So just remind them that you're looking forward to catching up with them at whatever time, and then just say, have you managed to watch the links I sent you? And if they haven't, it's obviously going to likely remind them to. So when you jump on the follow-up, ask questions like, what did you like best about the links I sent you? Don't never say, what did you think? It's always, what did you like best? That's the best thing you can say. What resonated with you the most? Was it the products? Was it the business? These things are open questions. You're gonna then stop talking as well. So often we start talking loads. Just let that person speak, and then you can gauge where their head's at. So for example, you can also say things like, when we chatted on Friday, you explained, and then you go into their why. So you want to remember their why. Obviously write it down if you're going to forget. If you're speaking to loads and loads of people, that's what I used to do. I used to muddle up people's whys. You said you wanted this, and you said you wanted this. And then you're saying, you know, do you see how Arbonne could be that vehicle to get you there? So you're helping them to see, you're guiding them through it. Do you see that? Yeah, do you see that Arbonne could be the vehicle to help you get to that place? Lawrence, could you mute please, because it's not letting me. So yeah, you're basically helping blind people to see, cast the vision. Arbonne is the solution. It usually always is. So, for example, I had a call recently where, you know, they were saying on their one-to-one that they really wanted to travel loads. They really hated their job. They wanted to go into interior design. And, you know, when it came to the end of the call, they said, look, I'm just not quite sure. I need more time to think about it. So we set up a follow-up and obviously sent some links out. And then I reminded her when we next jumped on that call, look, you said you hate your 9 to 5. You're so bored. You really want to get out there and travel more. And you want to be able to go into interior design. What else is going to get you there other than Arbonne? And that really makes people think. Don't be afraid to say that as well. What is going to bring you your why? Don't be afraid to say that. So it's important to let people know that I've already said this. It's important to let people know that they've heard all the information they need to know in order to make a decision. So don't be afraid to remind people of that as well. So then, sorry, my notes are all over the place. I usually write them out. Okay, so, and the other thing is, don't be in convincing mode. I think I've said that already. So another question which I always ask, which I think really is brilliant in helping guide people to make a decision and get them out your funnel. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I think this is in GoPro as well, I'm pretty sure it is. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being never ever talk to me about Arbonne again, and 10 being I'm ready to get started right now, where are you on that scale? Anything over a 5 is great, but no matter what the answer they give you is, your job is just to see how you can get the number that they gave you up to a 10. Or to a higher number. So if the answer is just shy of a 10, they may just have literally just a couple of questions they want to find out, but ultimately they're ready to get set up, which is brilliant. And then for that, you need to be really prepared. You need to know how to screen share, for example, or if you're with them, help them get set up. So make sure you know how to register someone. And if you're fairly new, obviously you'll be doing this with your sponsor. I forgot to say as well, if you're doing follow-ups, you need to be at least a strong district manager. It's so great to have that third-party validation. So if they're anything less than that number, you're basically just wanting to strip back the layers of why they're at that number. It's just like peeling the layers of an onion. So they may have lots more questions. They may want to try the products first, in which case, you know, you can say, look, maybe the business isn't for you just yet. Would you like to become a preferred customer, and go through that? Explain about the, 45-day money back guarantee as well. If they're local, then you can obviously maybe put together some products to give to them. But I think, with our preferred client program, it's brilliant. So you can set people up as a PC and explain, it'd be good for you to use the products first, and then you can decide later on. Many people in Arbonne were actually customers before. You can also invite people to group launches. I feel that's brilliant because people get to see, usually people's objections is that they're just fearful. They might put other objections in front of that, but usually when you strip back those layers, they're just fearful. So having them on a group launch that we have, they get to see brand new people who have just started, how they're pretty nervous, and just how it all fits in. They also get to hear the Arbonne opportunity again. So that's a really good another exposure. They may also want a few more videos. You may hear an objection and it might make you think of someone who's in Arbonne. For example, they may say, "Look, I'm just really, really nervous. I don't have any confidence. I struggle with anxiety." Rachel in our team is amazing. She created a really good video, which is an IGTV on Instagram. Rachel Ryan, and yeah, she basically just goes through how Arbonne has really transformed her mental health. So it's thinking of things like that, videos that you can send someone to help them see how this could be for them. They also, I've had this maybe a couple of times, they may also want to, they may also, I've only had this a couple of times, but some people really randomly want to have a look at the compensation plan. Obviously, you can help them through that as well. If you have an objection or an answer that you don't know the answer to, it's really important that you don't just make up an answer. You want to give them the best answers possible. So just admit that you're unsure and you want to give them the best answer. So you'll need to find out and get back to them, and obviously just check on the source or check with your upline. So it may also just not be a good time. They may really love the concept and really want to do it, but it's just not a good time. So ask permission to contact that person in, say, a couple of weeks or a month or 3 months or 6 months down the line, just to see if anything's changed in their situation. Remember that as well, we spoke about this a bit at the beginning, but remember that the light bulb might not go off straight away. In Eric Warre's book, GoPro, he says that it takes at least 4 to 6 exposures of hearing Arbonne for people to join. That's likely the case. And I think it was way more than that for me as well. And so many MVPs out there. I know Avery McCain, Peyton Mott, spoke to her 10 times before she would even hear about the opportunity. That was just in order to get on the call. Pretty much all of my directs as well had so many exposures before they jumped in. So you're just going back and helping them, helping them have more exposures. During the follow-up, obviously objections are really common. They're really great. I actually love objections. It does take a while to learn how to master handling objections, but just know that that person is just wanting to hear more. They just have questions and they don't really understand it. So they're just wanting to find out more. I'm not going to go through them in depth because there are lots of trainings on it. Also, I think, what chapter is it in GoPro? Oh God. I think it's chapter 7 of GoPro is all about objections, all the common ones as well. But the best thing that you can do with any objections is just be empathetic. Put yourself in their shoes and just remember how you started, and did you have that fear? Or if not, then liken it to someone else in the team. So always use feel, felt, found. I'm sure you've all heard of this. I felt exactly the same. However, what I realized is, or what I found was, so if anyone has an objection that they really need help with answering, then just pop it in the chat now and I can probably help with that as well. But the most common ones are things like, I don't know enough people, I want to understand it more, I don't have time, I don't have the money to get the products to start. Things like, I just need to think about it for a lot longer. All of these things, we can most likely put ourselves in their shoes and then just liken it to back when we started and give an example of that as well. So I'm not going to go through them all, although I probably could. So I've just put here, if anyone has the objection of, I just need to think about it more. Lots of people say this, I just really need to think about it and I'll let you know. You just want to say, look, I totally get why you feel like that, as I felt exactly the same. However, what I found was I was just fearful. I realized that we get nervous when we start anything new. It's just like joining a new gym. But with this, you get so much guidance and so much support, and there really is nothing to lose by doing this. You cannot fail. So it's just helping them to see your point of view and what you found. Do people, if you can nod your heads if you want me to go through some of these. I'll just check the chat. there's nothing. I did create recently as well a just literally in my notes I have a list of objections. It's for Instagram, so it's kind of people when you first ask them to take a look at Arbonne and they've said, you know, it's not for me, or oh, I'm just really busy, I can't take anything else on, and then just obviously saying, you know, it would be best if you watch this video just so that you can understand it more. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to go through them. I don't think I need to. There's so many trainings on it. Like I said, it's in GoPro as well. There's a huge chapter on objections. I'm just going to quickly go through next week's task. This is the task that I'm going to set. And it's basically to arrange a 15-minute call with your upline. So a strong district manager is absolutely fine. Someone who does follow-ups already. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do a role play with your upline. So they're going to be it's like you're going to be on a follow-up with that person. So they're the prospect, you're the Arbonne consultant, and it's just really going to help you to hear good scenarios. I know when Leanne did it with me, it really, really helped me. So yeah, they'll have a script and they'll be able to, you know, give you a scenario, and then it's just learning how you would approach that in the best way. I think when you train on objections and follow-ups, it is quite difficult because it really is so different every time. It really is. So it just is about gauging that individual, how you can guide them to see whether this could be for them, but ultimately never convince anyone to do Arbonne because it is enough. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, but I'll probably explain it a bit more in True North. And then obviously just book in. It's just going to take 15 minutes to chat to your sponsor or your upline this week, and they'll be able to do that with you. So yeah, I think that will be really fun. They're really, really great, and they help you to learn as well. So I'm just going to stop the recording.